I'm in Glencoe and we have a very, very hard frost. So I've come to the Booklet of Moor viewpoint just to see if there's any ice on the waterfalls. If there is, I'm going to try and create an image where we've got the ice as the foreground and the light on the mountain. As you can see, we have some lovely light at the moment. So I'm going to try and work with that and this hard frost that we have on the ground. So yeah, hopefully you can see we have got some ice down on the water. We've also got some beautiful frost on the heather. So I'm going to try and work with that. There's some beautiful long grass down there that's got some frost on it as well. So I might try and get close up with that and see if we can make an image there. Right, hopefully first shot in the bag. Let me just talk you through it. I focused on these frost covered heather clumps there. I'm including this waterfall, hopefully including the ice on the waterfall. So, and then I take a second exposure where I focused here on this boulder, slightly faster shutter speed so that I could freeze some of the detail in the water. And then I took a third exposure where I exposed for the mountain itself so that we retained all the detail in the mountain and in the sky. And hopefully I'll blend them together when we get back. Right, let me talk you through two shots that I've taken. The first one is pretty much this composition shot in horizontal format, and I was focusing on these grasses just down at the base of the tripod. I took 3 exposures, one of the grass, one of that rock in the foreground or the midground, and one of the mountain. And the hope is that I'll have everything reasonably sharp. I've then flipped over to portrait orientation, and that's the one that the camera's on at the moment, as you can probably see. And that's allowing me to make more of these frost-covered heather. It's allowing me to include the waterfall and everything beyond. And I'm just including the peak of the mountain. Right, what about this shot? Basically what I've done is I've zoomed in on that ice covered boulder down there, and I'm using this S-bend in the waterfall as a kind of framing tool. We've got all that ice, and those icicles are the main subject, and the waterfall is kind of framing them. We've got this beautiful boulder here which has also got some icicles hanging from it, and the whole thing is, I'm probably going to do a square crop I think with this. I'm exposing for the highlights in the waterfall, so a lot of the image is actually going to be quite dark I think, but for me I really just want to capture those icicles because that's the thing that is unique about today's visit. and that's the thing I'm going to try and concentrate on. What about this for a shot? This is pretty much the composition that I've gone for, and it's really just so that I can make the most of that frost-covered grass down there, which caught my eye as soon as I arrived. I'm including the entire waterfall. I'm entirely excluding the mountain, and I'm including the waterfall, this big boulder, but the real star is that frozen grass there, because that really caught my eye. Right, I really promised myself I wasn't going to shoot this mountain today, but here we are. The conditions are just great. The ice and the icicles and the hard frost are really just adding to the conditions, so I couldn't really resist it. And I seem to be in good company. There's been quite a few photographers here already. There's even a wedding being shot behind the camera. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. But anyway, it's beautiful. I've taken the shots of the waterfall, I've taken a couple of close-ups of the icicles and the ice in the water, and I've even taken some close-ups of those frosty grass mounds that I liked, and the heather. So now I'm going to walk my way upstream a little bit and see if we can get a shot from up there. The great thing about today is, as well, is if you know this area, you know just how muddy it gets, but it's so cold and the ground is absolutely solid, so you can just walk across without any mud to work your way around. I'm going to take the old classic view now, I think, and you know, looking down on the falls and then up to the mountain, where the mountain's between those two trees. And then I'll move on. Okay, let me challenge you with this image. What I've done is I've taken a horizontal crop, so from about there down to here, including the falls and the edge of this boulder, but I'm dramatically underexposing, just really to pick up on where the light is glinting off the ice and the highlights of the waterfall. The vast majority of the image is going to be rendered very, very dark. Now, we've got this beautiful late afternoon light now, and that's giving it a kind of warm feel. So I'm going to try and work with that when it comes to doing the post-processing. But essentially this is the shot, and it's going to be very minimalist. Probably just taking in the top end of the boulder, all the way down to this rock is included in the image. But it's essentially the water cascade, the ice, this pool, and then the ice on the pool as well. All underexposed for dramatic effect. And yeah, I like that. That seems to be the way I'm working today. Right, I've come along a little bit further upstream, and I'm trying to make something with this little cascade which is coated in ice, and as you can see there is ice going off as you look further along the drop as well. We've got some lovely ice patterns in the water here and down here in the foreground rock, and all the while including the mountain as well. So there's a lot going on, but I think it works. I mean, it's a tried and tested composition, and we all know this is a great composition, but the star today, as I've said earlier, is a combination of the ice and this beautiful low late afternoon winter light, which is giving everything a kind of warm glow, even though it's perishingly cold. But yeah, I like that. I think it's a nice shot. I'm going to try and make something just down here. There's even more ice, so I'm going to try and do something with all that, and then I think I'll head on, because I've got another location that I want to shoot tonight, and the sun's down in about 2 hours, so I'm up against it with time now. Right, I've taken that shot, a kind of vertical composition where we've got these boulders, that lovely ice pattern, this rock pool, waterfall, mountain. Fairly straightforward, and as I said before, it's a fairly tried and tested composition, right? We've probably all got it, but we might not all have it with ice. And it's been a few years since I've been here when there's been some ice, so that's what I've been concentrating on. I've also taken a horizontal crop, pretty much the same idea, but obviously not including quite so much of these rocks, and certainly not including this foreground grass, because I couldn't include all that in the same image. But yeah, that's essentially it. I'm going to make my way back to the road, go over the bridge and see if I can grab a shot or two from over the bridge. I might even go down the other side of the gorge quickly. We are starting to lose the sun behind the mountains of the Black Mount, so I don't have an awful lot of time now. But yeah, we'll see what we can do here. Right, I'm making my way over to the bridge. It's funny, I've shot this location, I don't know, ad nauseum as they say, but it's one of these places when you're here and the light's great, I'm always reluctant to leave, just in case something kicks off and a slight change in the angle or a cloud drifts in and just makes it look all the more dramatic. So I've reluctantly dragged myself away, and we're going to head over the bridge and see if there's anything there. And yeah, I'll see you there in a sec. Oh dear. Right, I don't think that worked. I got to the riverside just as the sun disappeared behind the mountain, and we lost the light. So I didn't have any direct light on the ice, which is what I was looking for. I'm going to quickly get back to the car and head on to another location now, because I think we've got about an hour of daylight left and I've got about 25 miles to go. So it's going to be tight. Right, I really need to work on my time telling skills. I thought I had an hour till sunset, turns out I had 2 hours till sunset. So I've made it to my next location, but that will be the subject of another video. So hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, give us a little thumbs up, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, bye.